Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have an exciting sort of sidetrack project that has come up that I'm going to be taking you guys along for the ride on. Star Wars stuff is still 100% a go, as is the AVP stuff. The Star Wars one is going to take a little bit longer than I anticipated, as I'm having the discs cut by a laser cutting company, so that I have proper size discs and they keep a perfect shape, because I'm not that good with a skill saw. So for those of you tuning in for the Camino build and the Star Wars build, by all means stay tuned. It is coming up. It's just that's going to be much more involved than not originally anticipated. It's just going to be a very involved board. So having some pieces cut, laser cut using MDF, and then we're going to texture paint, apply some plastic card for certain things, and build it up from there. So the one thing that will be coming up will be sort of not a tutorial, but a walkthrough of the water effects. So that'll be coming for the Star Wars board shortly. But enough about that stuff. I wanted to talk about the next upcoming project in the studio here, and that is going to be some of these guys here. So I've cut out some platforms out of 1/4-inch hardboard and then sanded down the edges, because we are going to make some barricades for a little game that I like to call Necromunda. So, got some neat plastic card stuff here. Got some tiled floor sets, just the regular plastic card, as well as the larger textured tiles. Got a few packs of I-beams and corners and things of that nature. So we're going to go through. I'm going to take you along on this one as well. We're going to build some pretty sweet barricades and stuff to use in Necromunda. I wanted to get a feel for it first, try to sort the scale out, using some smaller pieces, just using some, making some bulkhead, some wire, some barbed wire sort of emplacements, as well as some barricades and stuff, just to get a sense for the look that I want to achieve here. Necromunda is so cool because it's got so many different options, whether you're going to go with a proper hive city, whether you're going to go with sort of a shanty town look, whether it's going to be cleaner or if it's going to be complete grunge and dirt, right down to grit on the floor, what kind of floor texture I'm going to have. Like, that's the other thing. Obviously, with the core game coming out, I plan on picking that up, but I'm not going to be playing on cardboard tiles. That's just not something that I can do. So I want to make a proper table. Now, the premise behind the box set is Necromunda Underhive, if I'm not mistaken, and that is basically played on those tiles. And then there's a supplement called Gang War, which is more of the traditional Necromunda that a lot of you seasoned vets will know and understand. And it's basically dealing with the 3D, multi-tiered level combat, movement, all that fun stuff. So what I want to do is get sort of just some base scatter pieces, and then obviously I'm going to be building some larger pieces that are going to go straight up, lots of walkways, catwalks. And I think what I'm going to try to do is sort of maintain enough of a look where I can utilize this for Aliens versus Predator as well. That's sort of the game plan. So I want to give it sort of that industrial look, but I don't want to go too heavy, like buying a Sector Mechanicus set from GW. I don't want it to be too heavy, Imperium style. I want to keep it very, very industrial, very dirty, very, very realistic, I think is the best way to put it. So definitely still want the gangs to fit, but I want a playable surface. I want a large tiered surface, and then obviously lots of scattered terrain, breaking up line of sight, really make it nitty gritty in those combats. So we're going to be using a number of products. As I said, the Plasticard Evergreen scale models picked up at my local hobby supply store. This one here is the metal siding, so that's going to give me the ability to make some cool barricades, rubble piles, things like that. These are large I-beams, which I will be able to make walkways and things like that out of. I'm going to be using some mesh, actually screen mesh, so it's very fine. So it should fit in quite well. I'm going to be using it for not only fencing, but as well as walkways, catwalks, things of that nature. I also have a large amount of bulkheads and floor panels, basically, from another system that I picked up. It's just a plastic set. I can show you those, as we progress through. But lots of selection. Picked these up. These were really neat. These were picked up at Michael's here in Canada. This pack was $8, and I know you're gonna look at me and go, "Oh my God, you spent $8 on that? You're nuts." The beautiful thing about Michael's in Canada is you get a 50% off coupon. So when I purchased this, I used a 50% off coupon, got them for $4. So at $4 with this beautiful pack and a little bit of green stuff, I can make a few molds and recreate a lot of these no problem. So they were nice detailed cogs. I think the scale was great for some larger ones, and then these guys are the fine smaller ones. So really going to add to the rubble pile. I got a bunch of neat bits, odds and ends collected from over the years, so really excited to see sort of where it takes. Just not sure as far as what I want to do with texture yet on the bottom, whether I want to take some of that plastic card and lay it on so it looks tiled, whether I just want this to be gritty, very dirty piled rubble, so, some rubble underneath, and then just, shards of what would be metal, I-beams, sheet metal, using sprue and plastic card and the like, just to sort of build up that rubble to make it look industrialized. I'm also going to want to use some pipes, have some piping coming out. Again, really maintaining that theme of an industrial look. So just to take you through the product once more, that is an MDF hardboard, and that is a 1/4 inch hardboard that has been beveled, cut and then beveled with a palm sander, and that is going to act as my base. It's beautifully rigid, it doesn't warp when you apply glue. It's excellent stuff to use. From that, we're also going to be using some of this plastic card, which you can pick up at your local hobby supply stores. They are awesome. If you try to find one that is a sort of model railroading, they've got all different types. They got board bat, they got metal siding, they got roofing, sidewalk tiles, room tile. A lot of this stuff is used not only for model railroading, but also in architectural buildings and stuff when they need textures and they need to recreate floor panels and things of that nature. That's the go-to product. So as far as where we go from here, what I'm going to do is try to take you guys along step by step. So I'm going to start by texturing the bottom of these, getting some texture applied to these, and then start laying out some of the rubble pieces, figuring out which ones I want to do as barricades, which ones are going to be just strictly rubble, and then this one here is going to be a larger test piece for a small building, whether I do a small control station or way gate, something at the forefront before you get into the larger industrial sector. So possibly even a gatehouse, something of that nature, security hut. So I'm going to play around with some ideas on that. So stay tuned to the channel. That'll be coming up very soon, and we will bring you along for the process on that. Thanks for joining me, guys. Cheers.